Now that we know how to do a hinge, and we know how to do an RDL, and we also know how to do a squat, now it's time to get into one of the most fundamental strength building exercises, which is the barbell deadlift, okay? So it all starts from the setup to keeping tension before going up, and then obviously the movement going up. So first we're gonna start with the setup. We have the bar, we have the weight on, okay? Then what we wanna do is set up in the middle of the bar here, okay? So if you come here, you can see that I am perfectly in the middle of the bar now, okay? And then in terms of how close you want to be to the bar, well, I like to imagine that I want to cut my feet in half with the bar. So the bar should be perfectly over the middle of my feet. So I should have just as much of my foot on this side of the bar than on the other side of the bar here, okay? So perfectly in the middle. And the reason being is because when I'm going to go down to do the movement, if I'm too close to the bar like this and I move my heels forward, I'm going to knock the bar forward, which then is going to discombobulate the whole thing and I'm not going to get the lift properly. Or if I'm too far back, and you can go far back, if I go too far back, then what that's going to force me to do is actually have to round my back to then go pick up the bar as opposed to keeping it straight, okay? So what I want is to be perfectly in the middle of the bar here, which would then allow me to then go straight down like so to then lift up the bar, okay? So this allows me to go straight down as opposed to having to reach over or knocking the bar forward. Now that we have the setup, we know where our feet are. Our legs are going to be about shoulder width, okay? They can be a bit closer, but as soon as we start going wider than shoulder width, then we're getting closer to more of a sumo deadlift, which we can show you in a different video, okay? So we're going to do a conventional deadlift. So legs are about shoulder width. The bar is in the middle of my feet. Then what we want is to have tension in our upper back here. To create tension, we want to actually push our arms down here. What that's going to do is, yes, our chest is actually going to activate. And what that's also going to allow is for our lats to activate at the same time. Okay, so push down with the arms. And then when we're going to go grab the bar here, we're actually going to get rid of that slack. Okay, I don't know if you guys hear that, but when I'm pulling on the bar, we hear a bit of a slack when I go. So what I'm actually doing is I'm imagining it's a stick, and I'm actually breaking that stick in half like that when I go to grab the bar. So boom, push down with the arms, just like that. Bar's in the middle of the feet. Get rid of the tension by bending the bar. And then we're gonna breathe and lift. And then back down, but while hinging the hips. Boom. Back up. And down. Just like that. And that is how you do the conventional deadlift with a barbell.